There's a deep footprint in the mud. It looks quite fresh. Whom does it belong to? According to both Bates and Collier, Henry's body was tangled up in algae when they found him. How could he possibly have drowned in this, though? Something is glittering at the bottom. What could it be? The door is open. Someone must be down there. Wine kegs full of quality red. This well is from the era when the castle was under siege. It was supposed to connect the castle with an underground system of corridors, but that's merely old hearsay. No one has ever seen those corridors. It's several tens of meters deep, but the water from it can't be drunk. Bates?
Yes, sir?
Bates, can the fountain back in the garden be drained?
Yes, there is a big pump in the cellar. It controls the water flow for the whole castle. It is possible to adjust the water level. However, I do not think it is a good idea to drain it after what happened. And Detective Collier should probably be notified about it, sir.
I am merely considering all the alternatives. We have the right to find out what happened. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. In that case, it is probably best not to tell anyone. Is that what you meant, sir?
Very much so. You said you were there when they dragged Henry out of the fountain.
Unfortunately, I was. The sight was terrible.
I have to tell you something. I feel responsible for what happened to him.
Why would you say something like that, sir?
Well, I ordered him to clean the fountain. He did not want to do it, but I insisted.
You mustn't think that way, sir. Surely, if he had not been drunk, nothing would have happened. And I actually heard Dr. Hermann say that his death occurred sometime after midnight. It is not your fault. Certainly, he would not be cleaning it in the middle of the night.
I really hope so. Bates is probably right. Henry most likely fell in there by accident. Have you seen Robert today?
Yes, Sir Robert was reading the newspaper in the dining room this morning. If you would like to speak with him, I am sure you'll find him in his study.
I spoke to Collier. As you can imagine, he asked me a lot of curious questions. Tell me, what did he question you about?
Many things, but most of all, he was interested in the place where we found Henry. It was very unpleasant having to describe it all over again, sir.
Oh? Can you repeat to me what you told him?
I was afraid you would ask. Well, if I must. I was awakened by a sharp knock at the door of my room. Morris was shouting something about Henry. He seemed utterly confused, rapidly pouring out incoherent sentences. He wanted me to go with him to the back garden immediately. At that moment, I still had no inkling of what had transpired.
Did you go with him right to the fountain?
Yes, and only there did I realize what had happened. It took me a while to come to myself again, but then I went straight to the telephone.
What time was it?
It was about 6 in the morning. Collier and Dr. Hermann arrived an hour later. That is all, sir. You know the rest.
Yes. Thanks for being so patient, Bates. When did Dr. Herman leave?
Half an hour ago. He took Henry's body to the old morgue.
Did he mention to anyone what he thought about all this?
He had a long conversation with a detective, but I have no idea what they were speaking about. I was so distraught, I was not really listening.
All right. That's all then, Bates. Body is in the old morgue then. What was Morris doing in the back garden so early in the morning? His work is in the stable, right?
Yes, but he sometimes helps with the gardening. Henry cannot do everything that needs to be done. I mean, he was not...
Bates, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You don't have to work under the circumstances.
No, sir. I do not want to just be sitting around brooding. I'd rather attend to my responsibilities. It helps take my mind off things.
I understand. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
They're full of clean water. The cellar is quite cold, so the water is always cool. I can't see anything special, just clean water. This is where our best vintages are stored. The temperature as well as degree of dampness is ideal. Maybe I'll choose a bottle sometime later. I have no time for that now. It's empty. There's nothing in it. Water distribution controls. I have no idea which one does what.
Do you need anything, sir?
I would like to ask you about something.
Certainly, sir.
Bates, that pump we talked about,
Yes, sir?
I think it is broken. Which valve controls the water level?
The pump works all right, sir. Only one of the input valves broke off some time ago. The water level can still be adjusted using the other valves. It just takes a moment to figure out the right setup for what you want to do.
How do I know if I have drained the fountain then?
If I remember correctly, the second column from the right displays the level of water in the fountain.
I will give it a try. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
something is what could it... Ready. I can't see anything, just mud. Where is that shiny thing? A sign of some sort, or a symbol. This must be the thing that glittered at the bottom. A symbol similar to that from the tower wall. Strange, a new symbol beside another corpse. I'll take a picture of it, just like the first symbol. The Black Mirror Castle. Cans of paint and a tin with brushes lying on it. Only painter stuff, nothing else. They're empty, ready for planting in. It's full of clean water. I don't want to water anything. Gardening tools and small tubes with fertilizer. I can't see a bill of exchange anywhere. Where could Henry have put it? There is nothing interesting in the drawer. It's closed and probably full of whiskey. Henry hid it here so as not to carry it. It's locked. Some papers and a few coins. The bill isn't here. Where could he have put it? A letter. It's addressed to Victoria. Madam, please regard this letter as one from an anonymous friend. One of your servants is not whom he pretends to be. You may find it interesting that he is an ex-prisoner.
And a thief. On several occasions, I watched him sneak quietly into the castle cellar, using the old back door. I saw that person take away several bottles of some of the best vintages of your wine that you value so much. No doubt, some of your other valuables have also gone astray. I decided to write you this letter to prevent further stealing. The person's name is Morris.
Henry meant to blackmail Morris. I am curious as what Morris will tell me about this. It's full of dry leaves. Nothing but leaves. Morris carried the hay sacks away in time before it started to rain. Morris, do you have a moment?
Sure.
What do you think about what has happened to Henry?
It was to be expected. He drank way too much. I guess it had to end like this.
It sounds like you really don't care that it happened.
Well, we didn't exactly like each other, but I wish no ill will to anyone.
It was you who found him, right?
Yes, I needed something from the back garden, and as I was walking past, I noticed something floating in the fountain. I went closer to have a look, and he was totally tangled up in the weeds. I could see nothing except his coat.
Did you notice anything else?
No, I panicked, you see. I ran to the castle to get Bates to go have a look with me. I kept thinking I might have been confused and imagined it. But it really was Henry.
What happened next?
I rode into the village to get the detective. You know the rest.
So, Morris found Henry. Were you in the stable yesterday?
Sure I was. Where else would I have been?
The lights were not on.
Well, maybe I wasn't. Why are you asking? Oh, I can see where you're coming from. You're thinking that maybe what happened to Henry might not have been an accident and that somebody might have helped him into that pond. I may be a drunkard and a saucebox, sir, but I'm no murderer.
No one is calling you a murderer, Morris. I was just asking.
All right, fair enough, sir. If Madam learns that you are starting to suspect me, I may as well go looking for a new job. There's not much work available in this neighborhood. And besides, who would want to hire a man with one leg that is almost completely lame?
I'm not accusing you of anything, Morris. At least not yet. Morris, have you boarded up the old well like I asked you to yesterday?
Not yet, sir. I'll do it today.
It should have been done yesterday. I'm surprised that Henry didn't fall into it.
Excuse me, sir?
You know well how I meant that. I want to see it secured today, or you can start looking for a new job. Is that clear?
Sure, I'll do it. You needn't shout at me, sir.
I have no idea what has gotten into me. Why did I yell at him like that? I took a look around the fountain.
Sir, why would you bother with such a thing? Why not just leave it up to that detective?
Well, I can't help suspecting something's wrong about all of this. 2 unfortunate accidents in such a short time?
You said it, sir. They are accidents. Henry just got drunk as a stone, and this time his luck ran out.
Maybe. But never mind. I have come because of something else. I found a footprint in the mud by the fountain's rim.
But that's nothing strange. There must be lots of footprints there.
Well, this one is fresh and much deeper than the other ones. The person who left it there must have limped badly or been carrying something very heavy.
Are you suggesting it's mine? Well, why couldn't it be yours? It's mostly me who walks around the garden, and the footprint is probably from the morning I found him.
Maybe.
Sir, I told you I was home the whole evening. I've got no idea what happened that night.
How do you know that it was nighttime?
If I answer that now, could we stop returning to the subject?
We shall see.
I heard it from Dr. Hermann when he was speaking with Collier.
What else were they talking about?
I was not really listening. I just overheard a couple sentences as I was walking by. Can I go now, sir?
All right. I'll ask Dr. Hermann myself. Maybe I'm suspicious of him unnecessarily, but maybe not. I'll go see Dr. Hermann and find out what he knows about that footprint. Morris, I know you've been stealing wine from our cellars.
Me, sir? Who told you that?
No one told me. I read it in a letter that Henry wrote to Victoria. So what do you say about that?
Well, I only took a few bottles, sir. I swear. There's such a lot of them in there, I thought nobody would notice. It won't happen again, I promise. Will you give me that letter, sir?
All right, Morris. But I'm going to be watching you. Here it is. I will go then.
All right, sir.
I need a word with you, Robert.
Yes, but I am quite busy at the moment.
I won't keep you long.
Yes, I'm listening.
Did you speak with Collier?
Yes, he detained me for over half an hour with those questions of his.
So, what do you think about all of this?
Me? Collier's theory seems logical to me. I do not believe anyone would want to kill Henry. Henry drank himself to senselessness many times before, but this time he was unlucky enough to fall into the pond. Cold water certainly had something to do with the body's condition. Being a physician, I can certainly attest to that.
You're probably right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I have a lot of work to do today.
You have mentioned often since I arrived that you have a lot of work. So, what are you working on?
Oh, I would rather not bother you with the details. Let's just say I'm carrying out specific research. Perhaps I will tell you more about it tomorrow, when I have some time. I need to leave for Ashbury this evening to check on some results.
Oh, all right. I must go now.
Right then. I'll return to my work.
Today's newspaper. I don't want to read it.
What happened to Henry is awful. First William, and now... Henry liked to drink, but other than that, he was a good man.
I'm sorry, Victoria.
I would like to be alone now. Do you need anything, Samuel?
Dr. Hermann, the physician, does he live in Willow Creek?
No, some time ago he moved into an abandoned house near the old mill. It is quite close on the road to Willow Creek, the only house far and wide.
Yes, I remember where that is. Thanks.
Please excuse me now, Samuel.
Oh, Mr. Gordon. I would wish you a nice day, but that is not what it is today. To what do I owe you a visit?
Well, you told me yesterday to come over.
Let us not discuss things outside in the rain. Please follow me. Better, is it not? Do you mind going down to the morgue with me? I have a lot of work to do. We can speak there.
Not a problem. Let's go.
Watch out for the steps. There's not much light in here, and the dampness can make your footing dangerous. So, what would you like to know?
I have returned as per our conversation yesterday. This won't take long. I would only like to ask a couple of questions.
Let me guess. This is about William, right?
Yes. You mentioned some bad burns on his body.
On the chest area, to be more specific. Yes.
So?
So, what?
When we talked yesterday, you said you would tell me more about it. That is why I am here.
Is that what I said? Well, I can only repeat what I have already told you. Massive burns on the chest caused by an unknown object.
Is that all? An unknown object? What you're saying is different from what you already told me.
I cannot remember. Those were just initial theories, anyway. I have recorded everything in the post-mortem account. Shall I quote from it?
That won't be necessary. It seems Dr. Hermann has lost his memory since yesterday. Why is he concealing what he originally wanted to tell me after we had first met? That
death report would interest me, but not in his presence.
I spoke with Detective Collier about Henry's death.
It was inevitable that he would end this way. He was a lost cause.
What do you mean?
Well, it certainly was not the first time something happened to that man after he drank himself into a stupor. I know this well because it was I who had to restore him to normalcy after the other bouts. It was not usually serious. However, on this occasion, he overestimated his capacity for drink for the last time.
This is rather awkward, but you see, Henry had something important that belongs to me. I have looked just about everywhere and have not found it. So it occurred to me that he might have had it with him, and that you...
So, what is this it supposed to be?
Actually, it's just a small piece of paper, but it's very important. Otherwise, I would not ask you.
You want me to search his personal belongings?
I would be grateful if you would do that, Doctor.
Gordon, that parcel is part of the evidence. I cannot just remove something and give it to you until the police have completed their investigations.
But that something was mine.
No matter. Until the case is officially closed, I cannot even show you any of those things.
I understand. Thank you, Doctor. At least I know where that blasted bill of exchange is. Dr. Herman, I'd like to ask you about something in connection with Henry's death.
Mr. Gordon, it was my impression that this affair is currently being investigated by Detective Collier. Is that so?
This affair, as you call it, happened in my garden. I have every right to be interested in it.
All right. What do you want to know?
I found a footprint right next to the fountain. It was quite deep and very recent.
Yes, we noticed it. Collier made a record of it in his papers. I do not know what else I can tell you.
Did you notice something odd about it?
What do you mean?
The person who left that footprint either limped or had been carrying something quite heavy.
You have an eye for detail, Gordon. That is exactly what Collier said.
So?
The trouble is, there are footprints all over the place, and they most probably all belong to your groom. What is his name again?
Morris?
Yes. You can exclude that one, though, if you thought of him as a potential murderer. Let me tell you why.
I'm listening.
I should not be telling you this, but it is your business in a way, too, so... I have been doing autopsies for over 15 years, and I have never seen anything like this before. Something seemed odd to me the very moment we dragged him out of the pond. His skin was entirely white. You see, I know what the body of a drowned man looks like even after a month, but this was different. He looked as if he did not have a single drop of blood left in his body.
Maybe it was in the water.
Impossible, Gordon. I told you I know what a drowned man looks like. I have not mentioned this to Collier, however. He would think I am going mad. I need to prove my theory first.
So what have you found out?
Exactly what I expected. No blood. Not a single drop of it anywhere. As though something squeezed the life out of him, like the juice from an orange, and disposed of its skin in that fountain. This is not like anything I have ever witnessed.
I'm not a doctor, but I can see it's more than strange.
This is not strange, Gordon. It is flat out impossible. Even if someone deliberately wanted to extract all of his blood, there would still be some remaining in the organs and muscles.
So what's your opinion now?
I have no theories yet as to what my conclusions should be. I have no sensible explanation for what I found, but so far, Nothing is indicative of a violent death.
Thanks for telling me this, Dr. Herman.
Listen, no one except the two of us is aware of this fact, and I would prefer it to remain that way, for now. When you speak to Collier, do not tell him anything. I will tell him myself when the timing is appropriate.
Understood. I'll say nothing. You can take my word for it. Now that is truly weird. Doctor, do you think you could go outside for a moment so I could have a look around? I could forget my wallet on the table when you return.
Excuse me? If I had not known your family for so long, I would be offended. Look, I can see where you're coming from. I already told you the parcel has to stay sealed until the investigation is over. So forget it.